These characters, that's all the mythology of people in the world out there to try to get you to believe that it can't happen. So that when it does happen, you don't believe it's happening, even though God said it is happening. Come with me to Revelation chapter 17. In Revelation 17, verse number 8, the beast that the woman is riding, this religious system here is riding, here, verse number 8, the beast which thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. This beast was on the earth functioning. Now he's not. He's in the bottomless pit, but he's going to come out of that bottomless pit. When he's describing the beast, he's describing the man of sin who has now become the son of perdition. The personification, the incarnation of a satanic spirit. Now, personal, private, individual, subjective opinion. Okay? You don't have to agree with this. You don't have to agree with any of this, but this is my understanding. I don't think the guy is Satan himself in the guy. I believe he's one of those creatures in Revelation 9. So that you have the unholy trinity. You have Satan, the power behind it all. You have his son, the son of perdition, and a counterfeit of Christ. And you have the false prophet, which would be a counterfeit of the activity of the Holy Spirit. Now, that's my opinion. If you want to believe Satan himself is incarnate in the guy, I'm not going to be mad at you. I don't think Satan was in the bottomless pit coming out. I think whatever was in the bottomless pit. If it's that, by the way, if someone says it was Apollyon that did that, and is he the one, the king of the bottomless pit? Is he the one that comes out? I don't know. Let me show you a verse in the book of Jeremiah. Come back to Jeremiah chapter 4. When you're in Jeremiah 4, you're in a passage that describes and talks about the second advent of Christ, winds up with the battle of Armageddon. And in verse number 7, when he's describing these things, Jeremiah 4, verse 6, set up the standard toward Zion, retire, stay not, for I will bring evil from the north and a great destruction. So here comes the destroyer and the destruction, and in the context here as you go down through it, it's going to be coming for the battle of Armageddon, the last battle between Christ and the Antichrist. That's why you get down to verse 23, and I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, and the heavens and so forth. The earth is described as a result of this battle in exactly the condition it's in Genesis chapter 1, verse number 2. There's a battle that began back in Genesis chapter 1 that isn't settled until you get to this chapter right here. Now notice what he says in verse 7. The lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. Now that term, the destroyer of the Gentiles, is exactly who that guy in Revelation chapter 11 is called. The destroyer. Abaddon. Apollyon. And I don't know, that's the only verse I know of to tell you that maybe he's the guy that animates that body and incarnates himself into. Maybe he's the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit. I can't prove that. I'm just telling you. You can think about it and reject it if you want to. But I do know that what transitions this guy from being the man of sin to the son of perdition is all of a sudden he becomes the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit. There's some spiritual activity in the supernatural realm that is involved with the reign of this guy as the son of perdition that allows him to be the personification of the lie and deceive people in believing he's God. Now, if you're in Revelation 17, if you go down to verse number 9, here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. Now there are the 7 heads in Revelation 13, that the guy has the 7 heads. There are 7 kings, and there are 7 kings. The heads represent kings. 5 are fallen. 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which receive no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So you've got confusion. You've got 7 heads. 5 are fallen. 1 is. That'd be 6. The 7th hadn't come yet. But when the 7th comes, he's only going to be there a short time, and then there's going to be an 8th one who is of the 7th one. There's the man of sin becoming the son of perdition. Follow that? This guy is going to be working with those 10 kings. See that in the verse? Come back with me to the book of Daniel. Now that's going to help you with Daniel chapter 2. In Daniel chapter 2, you have this image that Nebuchadnezzar saw. And this image is in 5 sections. And everybody says, but there are 4 kingdoms. Well, how can you have 4 kingdoms in 5 sections? Didn't we just say there was a 7th head who became an 8th that was of the 7th? And how did he do that? He was the man of sin, dies, son of perdition, now he's the 8th, but he's of the 7th. Yeah, the man of sin becomes the son of perdition. You with me with that? You're doing better than if I had a chalkboard. This is fun. At least you're shaking your head. Now watch it work in this passage. Verse 40. And the 4th kingdom which thou shall be strong as iron. Now we went through these kingdoms earlier. You got Babylon, Media Persia, Greece. Then Greece is divided into 4 sections. And out of one of those sections comes a 4th kingdom. And here he is. The 4th kingdom shall be strong as iron. For as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. So you have the iron kingdom. There's the man of sin. And whereas thou sawest feet and toes, how many toes would the image have? Now, how many toes do you have? 10. How many kings were there over in Revelation 17? 10. How many horns were there in Daniel 7? 10. The 10 toes, the 10 horns, the 10 kings are all connected. They're all the same guys. Whereas thou sawest feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest iron, mixed with miry clay. And the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay. So when you get down to the toes, you've got an iron kingdom. And then when you get to the toes, they're iron and clay.